hi, it's me, Crystal. And if you hear a cat meowing in the background, I got a cat at the very end of August, and she talks a lot, and she's fine. She's just crying for attention and also running around. And I realize when I'm editing that this camera, my phone, picks up more sounds than I think it does. So if you hear sounds, it just picks up everything. So I tried to film a LitJoy crate unboxing, and when I was editing that video, I realized that not only was I looking down the whole time, which is not a great look, I was also opening up stuff while I was talking. So there's this crinkly paper sound while I was talking, and it was just getting on my nerves. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care. So that video is not going to happen. But I did get a LitJoy crate for August, and of course it shows up in October. And I didn't even remember what was in there. And I didn't even know that it was the crate because I thought it was something that I had ordered. And I'm like, that has not even shipped yet. And I didn't even look at the email. So anyway, let's get into my third quarter. So let's go back in my planner to July and get my third quarter goals, which of course covers July, August, and September. And at the end of this video, I will do a little mini writing update. I don't have a lot to say, but I have a little bit to say. And I will say some of it as I go through my goals anyway. And then, let's just get started, okay? So my first goal for the third quarter of this year was to save a certain amount of money between my car fund and what I'm just calling my gadget upgrade fund. I don't want anything right now, but when I want something, the next time I want something, I want there to be money in the bank already so I can just buy it. So I had a kind of lofty savings goal. So at the time, I was really proud of myself for meeting this because I haven't saved that much money in a single quarter in some time. But those endorphins have worn off by this point. But I was really proud that I met this goal. So the first goal, check, made, done, whatever. My second goal was I didn't want to buy any more than $5 for the entire quarter, pre-orders aside, because I knew I already had like at least 4 or 5 pre-orders. And I actually met this goal. I went back and counted, and I bought exactly $5 over the third quarter, pre-orders aside. Pre-orders, I think I was around 9 or 10. I don't remember the exact number, but not pre-orders. I bought exactly $5. So I was really proud of myself because that's actually really good for me. And my third goal, which I did not meet, speaking of lofty goals, I had a reading goal to read 20 books. I've just been picking lofty reading goals all year. I don't know why, because I'm not even in the mood to read like that this year. I've read about, I think, 32 or 33 books this year, which is really good. But my goal is like 50 or 55. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could still happen. So I'm not going to adjust my reading goal. I'm just going to meet it or I'm not going to meet it. And I was hoping, though, if I set a really lofty goal, then maybe I fall in the middle and I get like 10 books read. I do not know how many books I've read. I don't count enough. I don't care enough to go back and count how many books I've read in the last quarter, even though it's literally planner and I very easily I don't care. So I'm not going to do it. But I did not meet this goal, and it's fine. And then my fourth goal was to finish my mirror project, and I did meet this goal. I actually finished it on July the 11th. I wrote it down. And I have a title now, and so my title is What You Bring Forth Will Destroy You, which is kind of wordy, but I do like it. And the genre, right now, I'm just calling it like darker, like weird, dark fiction, like light horror, light paranormal, and that's just what we're going with right now. And I guess I could go over my monthly goals, even though I don't know why I go over my monthly goals, because they are even more boring than my quarterly goals. But I'm just going to go over them anyway, because some of them I think it's kind of funny. So my first goal for July was to spend less money. I actually didn't have a savings goal in July. I don't know why, because I usually break my quarterly goals down to monthly goals. But I wanted to spend less money specifically in July so that I can maximize how much money I could save in July and get this quarter off to a good start. And I put I think I went over by like $50, which given how much money I usually spend in the month, that was also really good. So I really should have counted this as done, but I just put a note on there that said kind of, and I'm just not going to count it because I technically didn't stick to the amount that I told myself. I didn't go over budget in general. Like I don't spend more money than I make, but like, but I did spend more than I said was for my spending money, so it's fine. And then my second goal, which I also didn't do, usually when I exercise I just walk, and I'm like, why don't you do 2 like non-walking workouts? And apparently I didn't feel like it, and it was too lofty of a goal for the mood that I'm in, so I just walked all month and I did not do anything different. So I didn't meet that goal. My third goal, which I also didn't meet in July, was to read 7 books. I don't know how many books I read in July. I did read some books in July, but I did not read 7. So the only goal I met in July was I wanted to write 15,000+ words in my mirror project, which obviously I did that if I finished the book. So I did do that. So yay. And then in August, I wanted to save some money, half of my car fund, half of my outgoing fund. I did that. And again, I had another goal to do 1 non-walking workout, and I did do that. I did exactly 1, and I did not like it. But it doesn't matter because I did it. And then I wanted to edit 50% or more of my mirror project, which at the time I made this goal did not have a title, but I titled it in August. And that was 15 or more chapters, and I did the entire first round of editing. I finished the entire first round of editing at the end of August, so I guess it looks like it took me about 6 weeks to do that first round of editing. And then my fourth goal was to read 5 books. I don't know how many books I read in August, but I read at least 5, so I also checked that. So I actually met all of my goals in August. And then in September, I wanted to save some money. The rest of the money I needed to save to meet my savings goal. Again, half in the car fund, half in the upgrade fund. I did that. I wanted to finish my second round of edits for What You Bring Forth Will Destroy You, and I did that. I didn't put a date on there, so I don't know which date I finished it. In my head, I think it took me about 3 weeks to do that second round of editing, but it could have been 2 weeks. But in any case, I finished the second round of editing. And then my third goal was to read 5 books. I did not read 5 books in September. I did finish a book or 2 in September, but I'm not going to go look, but I didn't read 5 books. And then my fourth goal was to start this like guided journal. And so I did that. And so I met 3 out of my 4 goals for September. So now flipping to October for my fourth quarter goals and my last quarterly goals for the year, which covers October, November, and December. And so my first goal is to customize my 2026 planner, which I want to do by the end of November. And so I will get started on that at some point. I'm going to keep the same layout, which I'll show you the layout on the month where I don't have anything written down yet. So I'm going to customize, I'm going to change the colors and the quotes and the pictures, but I'm going to keep the same layout. So it's going to have the same layout where we have our cover page, and then my goals page with a calendar, and then my notes page, because I do use it sometimes, but I like it when it's there anyway. My TBR page, which I print out pictures and paste them here. And so I'm not writing on this very vibrant photo. And then I have my weekly layouts with my tracker and my weekly goals and anything I need to do on a specific day. And so I really like this layout. Now, usually what happens when I keep the same layout, I get sick of it about halfway through the next year. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to go ahead and keep the same layout because I do really like this layout. And I'm not going to change too much as far as I know, other than I might change these little decals and stuff, and I'll probably do something different. But other than that, I'm going to keep this largely the same. And I really like these colors. I cannot wait to get to November because just the gray and the purple is just doing the most right now. Especially because September I had this mango color and I'm like, what were you thinking? But I do that every year where I have like, I do a color scheme that I'm like, this is not, I don't know about this. So that's my first goal. My first goal for the fourth quarter is to customize my 2026 planner. My second goal is to save a certain amount of money. About half what I wanted to save this last quarter. And I actually almost already met this goal because I probably set it a little too low, but it doesn't matter. And this third goal, is to start writing my next project, which I'm calling Discarded 2.0. I started Discarded 1.0, which is now Discarded 1.0, which was just Discarded at the time. I started it earlier this year, but I had some things that were not working. And so rather than force it, I set it aside until I figure it out. And I think I have it figured out. And I might still change my mind because I haven't actually started writing that story yet. But I do want to write the book, and I'm planning on writing the book. And so that's my goal for is to start writing sometime before the end of the year, is to get this project going. And so my fourth and final goal for the fourth quarter is to read 10 books and be okay with not meeting my reading goal, which I'm already okay with that. And right now my goal is really just to get to 40. So that's really like 7 or 8 more books, which I think I can do fairly easily if I stop forcing myself to read some nonfiction books, because I'm not in the mood for nonfiction right now. But who knows, I might change my mind and next week I'm able to read the nonfiction books. But I had picked a couple of nonfiction books and it's just really slows me down because I don't want to write it. I don't want to read nonfiction right now. But my October specific goal, since we're in October, I wanted to save some money, which I already done. And I went over what I said because I was not paying attention, but it doesn't matter. And then I want to read 3 books. We'll see. I decided, you know what, just read something. Just finish something. And my second goal, because the savings goal is my third goal. My first goal is to read 3 books. My second goal is to finish the Witcher 3 video game, which I'm almost done with. So I think I'll probably finish it sometime this week. If I don't, it's fine. If it goes on another couple weeks, that's also fine. But I think I can finish it this week. So those are my goals for October. I don't know why I have finished this video game as a goal, but I don't want it to drag on, and I am almost done. I do like the game. It's kind of hard. And I'm playing on story mode, and it's still hard. It's also really long. But now that I'm almost done with it, I was like, I can almost see myself playing this game again, because there are some things that I've seen, like scenes that I've seen in this video game online that I did not get because the choices I made locked me out of certain things. And so then I was like, well, what am I missing? Like, what did I do? Like, did I do something wrong? I got a good ending. I finished the main story. I'm just playing through the Blood and Wine expansion pack, and then after that I'll be done. So I got a good ending. But there are some things that I got locked out of. Like, apparently there's this king that you can take out. I didn't get to take the king out. And I'm like, is it because I broke that guy's leg? Because that guy deserved it. Okay. But anyway, so those are my goals for the fourth quarter. Customize my planner, save some money, start writing Discarded 2.0, because I think I got everything sorted now in my head. And my last goal is to do some reading. So, writing update. Obviously, I finished my Mirror project, What You Bring Forth Will Destroy You. I finished that. I did 2 rounds of editing. Right now, I'm letting it sit. I forgot what my word count was. I think it's like 52 or 53,000 words. I think it puts me around 200 pages. I'm pretty sure when I did the math, I was at a little over 200 pages. And part of me is like, the story is as long or short as it needs to be. That's usually what I tell myself. Oh my gosh, that was so loud. So, the story is as long as or as short as it needs to be. So I don't want to add things to the story just to make it longer when it doesn't need to be longer. But so right now I'm letting it sit to make sure I don't want to add anything else. I don't want to change anything else. And so the plan, I'm always say this, hopefully I don't have to query again. But if I do, the plan is to query it sometime next year, like February or March. And just to give myself some time to detach from it a little bit. But speaking of querying, I did send some more queries out for Artificial. I sent one more out for Down to This Madness. Down to This Madness is psychological horror that I wrote in 2023. I sent one query out, so I sent 2 queries out for that story to share. I haven't heard back from the other agent that I sent it to, like a couple months ago or a few months ago. I don't know when I sent queries out. It was earlier this year. Maybe it was May even, but I think I'm still supposed to hear back from her. I don't think she's a non-response agent, so that's why I haven't written it off yet. But I did send out one more query for that book. It's a little on the long side for a horror book, but I think I would not have written the book that long if it didn't need to be that long. So I sent one query out for that, and I sent some more queries out for Artificial, which is my like sci-fi horror book, because I think it's good, and I just can't give up. And I realized my query list is actually pretty small. And so I was like, why don't I go back in and see if I can find some more agents? And I found a lot more agents. And so I don't know. A lot of these agents, I don't know why they didn't show up last time I was looking at agents, but I added a bunch of agents to the list and I sent out some queries. And it was probably a good thing I sent out some queries, because I have gotten some bites, which just makes me feel better overall. But, so I'm still querying Artificial. So, we'll see if anybody cares. But I did have more people care this last round of queries than I did the previous round. I didn't change anything, except that I just kind of broadened my scope a little bit. And we'll see what happens. But it also will buy me some time to querying what you bring forth, because I'm just not ready to send that out yet. So that is all. I should have made a goal this month to like go and do something social. I did go to like a local like writing meetup today, and I think it went okay. I'm so awkward and I'm uncomfortable, but I did talk to some people and I did stay the entire time, so that's good. And yeah. But when I made my October goals, I was not thinking that I was actually going to do something. And I made that decision like a week ago, a little over a week ago. I think I made the decision about 10 days ago. And I was like, why don't we do something this month? So, and they only meet once a month. So I had an entire month to get myself together to go to another one. But I think it'll be fine in the long run. There are a lot of different people there, a lot of different kinds of writers there. And so I think it'll be fun. And a lot of weird people there. So I'm in good company. But anyway, I might try to find one other writing thing to do sometimes, because this is just once a month and I wouldn't mind doing something twice a month. And I really would like to be around some active writers, I guess I should say, like people who are actively writing, because I write all the time. Per usual, I don't know when I'm going to get another video up. It might be a week from now, it might be next year, but I do feel a little bit better talking about writing. I don't have anything more specific to say. You know, I finished my book. I edited it. I don't know what my first draft was for What You Bring Forth Would Destroy You. I added at least 7,000 words though. So I think my first draft was probably 45, 46. And now I'm at like 52 or 53, because I knew I was going to have to add a lot, because I did kind of bare bones it. I did go through it pretty fast because I was just in the zone. And I'm like, we're not going to take time to edit right now. And yeah. But yeah, that's all that's going on. And I'm going to stop talking because I feel like I ramble sometimes at the end of the video. And the cat really, really wants attention. She's fine. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. And I will see you guys later. Bye.